Hello to everyone. This video I'm going into is in reference to lust. Um, we all have our part with that battle, and a lot of times it's just because uh, you know we're just vulnerable to a lot of things that we look at. The things that we look at can cause us, to fall in a lustful mind frame. Of course, Satan used this as a main weapon. Even when it come down to the scriptures, you can you know you you can really find out a lot in the Bible when it comes down to lust, because you gotta understand that the greatest men in the Bible fell because of lust. Solomon fell, David, Samson, you name them. They were following God, and then all of a sudden Satan used a weak vessel, or certain weak vessels as women, to come against God's will. And this spirit links all the way to Adam and Eve. And man have been eating the apple ever since. Ever since the fall of Adam and Eve, man has been eating that apple. All right, and God used the apple as a representation of disobedience. And it's it's sad in a sense, but we got to understand that, of course, a man, and even women, we are both attracted to each other. That's a common nature of you know of having. You're supposed to be attracted to the opposite sex. Opposites do attract. But Satan has perverted that and caused man and women to be addicted to it. All right, it's an addiction out here when two people that's supposed to be joined together, and all of a sudden they're joined together, then one party fall, and then it's based on lust. And see, the way I'm going to go about this is show you the understanding. Even the word itself, lust, Lust, stands for lost under Satan's trance. That's what lust, if you want to look at it as an acronym, those are the four letters that it means. Lost under Satan's trance. I've talked to a few brothers uh, at my job, and the funny thing about it is we were talking about the scriptures, and all of a sudden, about 100 feet away, there was a young lady walking, the opposite way of where we were congregating, and then lo and behold, they forgot that I was even there. It was funny, and then I thought about it. I was like, well, really, this is not funny at all, because they was like in a trance, like they forgot. They was like, oh man, what were you talking about, man? We were talking about the Bible. Oh yeah, and then you'll hear comment, man, look at her, phew, man, she can wear that again and again. She can wear that every day she come in. You start hearing all type of stuff, and it didn't really bother me at the time, and then because I can understand where they're coming from, but then I thought about it. I was like, well, you know what? That's where their heart is. You know, a lot of people deal with this. You know, of course, I'm a man. We fall prey. All men have fallen prey or fallen, due to this sin. I mean, it's a sin to lust after anything. But this topic that I'm going into is basically the topic on lust, a man and a woman. Instead of we shouldn't even use the word "I love you." Most of the time, is most most relationships is based on lust. So we should just be clear with each other. I lust you. They're both four-letter words. Okay. Um, People base their relationship on lust and try to transform lust into love, later on. And see, this can be a deep and controversial subject. A lot of times, a woman seriously should not even give herself up to a man that haven't even spoke of marriage or even thought about saying the word marriage. People think they, being together and, oh, he must love me because he's living with me, or she must love me because she's living with me, vice versa, whatever. That's not the case. Most of the time, you're giving out a service based on lust. It's nothing but how can I say it? It's nothing but another level of prostitution. Because if you stop giving that man your body, then what will happen? Then you'll find out if he loves you or not. All right. If a man really love a woman, he don't always have to need to feel that, that desire to have relationship. I don't like to use the word sex because most of the time when you see the word in the Bible, you don't even see the word sex in the Bible. But most of the time when you look at the other translations, you'll see the word sex, but it's always used immorally, in an immoral way. So when it comes down to a relationship, if a man really love a woman, sex or making love should not be the main objective. But we all know when two people first get together, they like, popcorn in the bag, all over the place, everywhere. You understand? But going back to the origin of the reason why a lot of us don't have control over that feeling. Now let me back up some more. We understand that the scriptures do say in Corinthians, do not, you're supposed to give your body up to your wife, and your wife's supposed to give the body up to the man. We understand you don't supposed to hold back on each other. That's fine. But what the Bible is talking about is totally different than what we see in the earth today. I mean, you're talking about 5 and 6 times a day, and that's just lust. Then you sick, you tired, you can't even function because you done dragged your body out to the point where you can't move or walk, and you're sleepy and tired at work, get mad at people. Why? Because you done dragged your body out and had sex too much. That's perverted. You don't think it is, but because we're taught that, oh, the more the better, and no, it's everything has a limit. You don't supposed to have sex until your testicles are aching. That's stupid. All right. A woman's walls shouldn't be swollen, and she shouldn't have to walk different just because of sex. Now I know a lot of people will probably listen to this YouTube video and probably get a laugh after it, but it's really serious though, because it links all the way back to Adam and Eve, all the way back when Satan came into the manifestation of the serpent. Actually, he possessed the serpent and told Eve to eat the fruit. And when she gave that fruit to her husband, to the husband, when he ate, now he's possessed. Why? Because she's beautiful. She's the wife, and God made them perfect in the way they look. So a lot of times, man can't function correctly around women. They have no type of uh, abstinence at all. They just, we see a woman, all of a sudden everything stops. Like, and see this links. I should have did some more research, but I wanted to just put this video out as as I felt I should. This links all the way to even Medusa. Before Medusa was Medusa, she was a very beautiful woman. Now this myth is based on the serpent as well. That's why when she became Medusa, because she wasn't accepted at a time due to a titan, she was cursed with the snakes on her head. And when a man, and basically what the story goes as, she is not allowed to curse women, but only men. And so you got to understand the symbolical message of that. There's a message behind that. If you stare at her too long, all of a sudden now she have this glow and this light come out of her eyes, and now you turn into stone. That's the same way a man turn when they look at a woman too long. You look at a woman too long now. You look at her too long now, you will become a stone. Now, I don't want to be too graphic, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Not just the private area, but your whole body. You all of a sudden now you thought about, like, man, look at her. Then you looking at her, and you get home, man, let me see if I can holler at her, get her number later. And of course, we understand that the women go through this too, but it's greater on a man's part. It's greater. The attraction to a man, to attraction from a man to a woman is greater. Now, of course, we have nowadays the burning lust, as it says in Romans. I'm not going to even get into that topic of, man after man and women after women. That's another topic. But when it comes down to, the situation where man and women is together, the lust part for man is greater. And Satan know this. Satan know it. And he come out, with these movies, Clash of the Titans, Medusa, turn a man into stone, and the snakes on her head represents the many slithery, cunning ways a woman can get to a man. Slick, they very slick. Not all. I don't want to generalize every woman. You got some very good women out here, but the ones that's very slithery and cunning, you won't know. You won't understand it. They got all kind of ways that they can get a man to be subjective under their spell. All right. Now, let's go to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 25. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 25. Let's see. Now, the flesh is, like I say in a lot of my videos, is very wicked. And a lot of times we don't even know why we react in certain ways. Like, you just go on the way you feel. Like, okay, it must be normal because I feel a certain way, so I guess everybody else doing it. It must be the norm. But it's a lot of times. I'm gonna be frank. Most of the times, if a man look at a woman, the first spirit that's going to come to his head is to hit. That's the term that the world use. The first thing a man want to do when he see a woman, most of the time, if they're not wrapped up in the gospel, the first thought that the man wants to do with a woman is to hit. Now, a lot of people, I may get a lot of pushback on this, like, no, man, it ain't me. Yeah, it's probably you and 3 others. All right. and I'm 36. I'll be 37 at the end of this in the summertime. All right. Most of the time, a man want to bang. All right. I have to just be that clear. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 25. It says, "Lust not after her beauty in thine heart." You see that? Lust not after her beauty in thine heart. You know why? Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. This is linking all the way back to the Clash of the Titans, Medusa. When you look at her eyelids, you look at her too long with the wrong thought. If you're weak, you're going to be stoned. She's going to turn you into a stone. That's just the power of a woman. That's just the way they are. You suppose, of course, you got to understand, yes, you can be attracted to a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to really, it's a thin line between love and lust. It's a very thin line, and Satan know how to balance that line. He will, most of the time, man is tempted with a woman. For example, let's say a man want to be married, and he's in the Bible, right? He want to be married. And, okay, you find a beautiful woman. She look good. And all of a sudden you go after her, and you know certain things is not right, right? She's not really following the Bible correctly. But you still go after because you know what? I want to marry. You thinking about you, right? Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and marry her anyway. Then all of a sudden, you find out that she's a serpent, an adder. And then you're stuck with a wife that you can't trust. Period. And of course, if you do something wrong, if the man do something wrong, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to just push everything on the woman. But this video mainly is for the brothers. All right. You know, a lot of us, man, we you know, we let the bottom leg, the middle leg lead us everywhere. You know, not the you know, the brain, that the brain on top doesn't work too well when you see a woman. All right, so I'm kind of hard on the brothers when it comes to this, because you know I see it a lot at the job. You know, guys be breaking their necks looking at a woman, and a lot of them, to be honest, a lot of women feel uncomfortable with that. But then the sisters have to realize that, you know, when you wear certain things, and I'm not blaming them when it comes to this, but when you wear certain garments, a guy gonna look. So that's on you. Every man, you know, every man is not going to be the type that want to stay in the word. You understand? So when y'all wear certain garments, you're gonna have to take it. You're just gonna have to take the looks, you know. So Proverbs 6:25 says, "Lust not after her beauty in thine heart." So the first seed that's sown is in your heart, and you're looking at her, and now you're stunned. Then it says, "Neither let her take thee with her eyelids." Don't let her take you into a spirit of lust, because that's what it is. Okay. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 28. Matthew chapter 5, verse 28 says, it says, "But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." Now, I'm going to tell you why it's adultery. First of all, if you're not married, right, it's still lust. Because what if your wife is out there somewhere? How can you get to your wife if you're lusting after a woman? Remember, God knows everything. And, you know, he's Alpha and Omega, so he knows he's the beginning and the end. So he see your future. He see everything you have done and about to do. It says, "But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart." So you can't get to your wife. Why? Because you're lusting after someone that's not your wife. Guys will say, well, I'm not married, man. I can look. Of course you can look, but make sure you're not lusting. Because now you can't look for your wife. So now you are committing adultery. Let's go to Romans chapter 6, verse 12. Romans chapter 6, verse 12 says, let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body. And that's the problem. Most of the time we have sin in us. We allow it to reign there and just sit there and build over and over. And we can't function correctly. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey in the lust thereof. So you're going to obey if you let sin reign in your body. So you're going to obey when you see something that you like. Be it a woman, a car, clothes, a house. And most of the time, a lot of guys, people want to get all this stuff is because of someone for their image. Now you're lusting. Everything is a circle. That's why God said sin has no weights. All of them the same. In James 2:10, for whosoever shall keep the whole law yet offend in one point is guilty of all. So anything you do is considered a sin if it's murder or whatever. So if you're lusting after a car or whatever it is, but it's going all, a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times lust comes from a person being, feeling that they want to, like boast when they see a person or his car better than mine. Let me get a better car. It's all coveting. It's all a circle. It's just a circle. Sin is nothing but sin. Self-inflicting nonsense. That's what sin is. Self-inflicting nonsense. So, brothers, I gotta do my job. I gotta speak to y'all. When you see a sister, what I'm saying, just especially if you're married, it's best for you not to look, for one. I mean, if you look, you gotta talk to them, of course. But when the Bible says it's talking about looking, it's talking about lusting after her. That's why Matthew just says, gouge your eyes out. It is better for you to go into the kingdom of heaven with a member gone, rather opposed to the whole body going into the lake of fire, going to hell. And this is symbolical. It's talking about don't look. You got to keep your eyes straight. Of course, people don't think you shouldn't do that, but you should. And some people, and I notice some women believe that's being weak, man. You should be able to look at everything, man. No. I follow the Bible. I don't follow what you say. And I'm all looking, and all of a sudden now all of a sudden I'm like, got these images in my head, and then sometimes an image can be manifested into actions. Let's go to Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16 says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit. You see that? Walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Now, lust is always going to be in the flesh. But what did the Most High just say? Then I say then, walk in the Spirit. This is the total contrary of your flesh. The flesh is total contrary to the Spirit. So you don't have time to be looking for, lusting after a woman or a man, or a woman don't have time to be lusting after a man if they walking in the Spirit. And ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Now, God don't lie. So it's basically saying, live holy 100%. Walk. You can't walk two ways at the same time. You can only walk one way. You can't walk backwards and forwards at the same time. You're in the middle. You're gonna be set idle. Where you going? Nowhere. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 16, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 16. Not 1 Corinthians, excuse me, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 6. Yeah, a lot of times, a lot of things have happened in the past. So that's why it's good to read the Old Testament anyway. You're supposed to read the whole Bible, so you can understand that a lot of things that happened to Solomon, a lot of things that happened to David, these were all examples for us. 1 Corinthians 10 and 6. It says, now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Now this is talking about following after gods, different gods, making the golden calf, following Baal, doing Baal worship, Moloch, the woman crying for Tammuz. There are a plethora of scriptures where the Israelites kept falling and stumbling into lustful desires of the flesh, doing evil things. All right, now, as you see on my picture, I have the apple there, and it has teeth. Those are poisonous teeth. Let me tell you, sin is poison. Your flesh is poison. It dies every day. When Eve ate the fruit, she was dying, and she gave her husband death. Not to blame her. We're not blaming anyone, but it happened because Adam didn't have to eat. But you got to understand, two people that love each other, hey, sometimes love is blind, but he knew that he heard God's voice, and he ate it anyway. So, and see, Satan understands how to get at man again. He understands that his weakness is always going to be on his right hand, his rib. You understand? Because God again he's looking for warriors. He's not looking for no soft, weak, fleshly minded, always falling into sins. He's not looking for that. He's looking for warriors. You gotta understand, you know how Christ speaks? He tells you, matter of fact, I'll show you the scripture. Let's go to John chapter 12, verse 25. I'm going to explain to you what God is looking for. In John chapter 12, verse 25, God explains how you're supposed to live. It says, he that loveth his life shall lose it. You see that? He that loveth his life shall lose it. And he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it until life eternal. Now, what is that saying? If you love your life here, how can you be a warrior for the spirit? Don't you understand that even in natural wars, not even speaking about the war against the flesh and the spirit, but even in regular wars, they train you to actually fight your emotions, to be emotionless. You know that when you go to a war that you can die. And you cannot fear that understanding. It's the same with the Spirit of Christ. Understand that you have to die fleshly to become like Him through the Holy Spirit. So when Satan tempts you with, a woman, a car, whatever, people trying to give you drug money, I don't care what it is. If somebody know that you down and out and you need some money, and then, you got some people that come to you, I'm just making an example. Hey man, I heard you were down and out, man, blah, blah, I do my little hustle thing, you know what I'm saying? Here's some money, you better turn it down. Because you understand where that money come from. Oh, it's just money, man, I can do whatever with this, I can use it to do good. Nah, you know where it come from, so now that's your conviction. That's your conviction. The root of it was evil. Now, of course, we understand that a lot of things that we have here, can be evil, but we don't understand where it come from. Like, if you know directly where it come from, come on, you can't do something with something that's evil and turn some evil money into something like that's just like a drug dealer going. You know what I'm saying? He didn't sold drugs and killed people, poisoning his people with drugs, and all of a sudden he want to give offering in the church. Come on, man. They don't work like that. You can't eat from the Lord's table and the devil's table at the same time. It don't work like that. So let's understand the scriptures. Let's go to James chapter 4, verse 2 and 3. James chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. This video is mainly to fight a lot of spirits. A lot of us, have companions, and or just a lot of us just want to be married, but you got to be very careful on how you go about that, because Satan understands you and he know what you want and what you like, and he'll send a serpent instead of a woman. James chapter 4, verse 2, it says, ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight in war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. Now you see the first part of this verse is critical. It says ye lust. That's the problem. So why would God bless you based on your lust? Then he says, and have not. So God is not going to give you what you ask for. So he wants you to figure out that you're lusting after it. Then it says ye kill and desire to have. These are drug dealers. These are people that think it's okay to do evil and still pray and ask God for something. I've seen this on movies. I've seen a movie, I forgot the name. I think was it Boys in the Hood or something, when this brother was out there selling and he was slinging. And then all of a sudden, he want to pray to God, like, I got to do my, he was so-called going to church, and nah, you can't mix it together. Lay down the drugs, lay down that life, then come to the Most High. But see, that's what they promote in movies, to make you think it's okay for you to be a drug dealer and come to God and still think it's okay to sell drugs. And that's why this scripture is written. James chapter 4, verse 2, ye lust. Now it's talking about lusting after any fleshly desire. And then it says, and have not, ye kill. Right? You talking about going to war, and then you're going to pray. And then I'm talking about these wars that God is not in, okay? Now, people like to hear that and say, well, there were wars in the Old Testament. They had all kind of, everybody, killing this, killing that. Let's look at what killing is. First of all, there's God's wrath, and there's man's war. The children of Israel was executing God's laws in the land. Those who didn't want to listen and take heed, God sent his wrath on them. And that's what happened. That's why, and see, I was going to do a lesson on that, but I'll tie it in a little bit in with what I'm talking about now. And it links to this. The Hebrew people were executing God's laws, and the other nations didn't want to abide by what they were talking about. So war broke out, which was God's wrath on the other nations that didn't want to follow. Now, when you break down the word Hebrew, this is he, and then you got the word brew there. All right, I'm just going to touch on this a little bit. All right. The word brew, what it means, to fuse, to like infusion, to purify. And who is he? God. So he used his creation as who? Man, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They are Hebrews. Christ. What did Christ do? What is he doing for your soul? He's purifying your soul. He's going to purify you. Any Hebrew person is supposed to bring out the truth and to purify your soul. I don't care what. Look, if it make you feel bad, oh well. There's a lot of people in Matthew when you read it, in John when you read it, Luke when you read it. God or Christ made many offended. And he said it. He said, many shall be offended in my name, and they shall offer you up to be killed. So you're supposed to bring forth the understanding of Christ due to the Holy Spirit. James 4:2, ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have. So you desire to have a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna kill my brother. Yeah. And I'm gonna pray. Yeah, God, come on, man. He did me wrong, man. I'm gonna blow his head off, because he did me wrong, man. And cannot obtain. Ye fight in war. Look at that. Yet ye have not, because ye ask not. And the reason why you're not asking with the understanding of how you're supposed to ask. James 4:3. Now this verse links to when a man asking for a wife based on his lust. He just want to get his his naughty time on, but really he don't really want to get married. He think he want to get married because the lust, the strength or the power of lust is so high that he's really tricking himself, and that's the trick of the enemy. James 4 chapter 4 verse 3, it says, ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust. So that's the reason why a lot of people are not married. Because first of all, how can you ask the Most High, knowing in your heart that you just want a woman just to do with? You feel you know what I'm saying? So now you want to ask God to fulfill your lust? Nah, he's not going to accept that. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 14. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 14 says, as obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance. Let's read it again. As obedient children. Now, first of all, you're supposed to be obedient to the Most High. Not fashioning yourself according to the former lust. This is how you used to be before you accepted Christ in your life. Now, these are for the ones that are living holy. It says, as obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance. Now, it's talking about when it's in your ignorance. Ignorance means when you don't read the Bible much, and all of a sudden, you know what? I want to get married because I want to live holy now. So before you even try to deal with a woman, you need to deal with the Bible first. Read it, understand it, pray, fast, get some strength, get some power before you even need to think about a woman. That's the ignorance, because a lot of people don't even understand how to look for their companion. And first of all, a woman don't need to be looking anyway. That's the man's job. Again, this video is based on the man, understanding how lust, reigns in the body. All right. So let me read that scripture again. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 14. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance. So read the Bible first, so you don't be ignorant, and know the devices of Satan, so you'll know what to look for in a woman. Again, a woman can have many snakes on that head of hers. And again, Medusa, the representation of the snakes on the woman's head as her hair, represents the many devices, the many subtle ways. You notice they say that a woman can do, they're a multitasker. Yeah, they are. And a lot of them are good at it. And you got good women that are good at what they do. But you got a lot of evil women that are harlots that can really do a lot. And, first of all, if a woman take a lie detector test, then I heard this from a real, from some sisters, that if a woman take a lie detector test, they will pass that. Think about how many women on a Maury Povich show have taken a lie detector. They don't work for them. I want people to show me a video that a woman was on Maury Povich or any other of these silly shows that they have, that they were on, and they took a lie detector test. They can pass it, Slim. They can pass it. That's why you better, fellas, y'all better, if y'all really want a real good woman, you better get in that word and go to Proverbs chapter 31 and read it over and over. If not, you're going to fall and stumble. All right, let's go to Revelations 18 verse 14. Revelations chapter 18 verse 14. And while you're turning, I want to do something else here. If you are out there to have a Greek concordance, well, a concordance with the Hebrew and the Greek translations, if you go to Greek number 4203, which is the word lust, okay? The word lust, L-U-S-T, which means lost under Satan's trance. You'll see the word pornuo or pornu. You'll see the spelling Porneuo, which is porno. And then it says to act the harlot. A lot of people don't understand that word lust is mixed. It's used as porno. That's where they get the word porno from. And if you go to Greek number 4204 in your concordance, it says porne, harlot or whore. That's what lust is. It's different ways to lust. Anything that's of the flesh is lust. But when it comes down to a woman using their body to make a man lust after her, it is considered pornographic. It's just that deep. And I tell you, look, the scriptures is nothing but pure. It don't leave. You know what? I'm gonna say this too. Ladies, stop flirting. Now you can look this up on your internet, okay? The act of flirting is trifling. Remember, don't use these videos I put up as your reference. Go research it yourself. You can go to dictionary.com, put in the word flirt. Let's see, again, this is out of our ignorance that we do these certain things. We don't understand it because we're not in the Bible as much as we're supposed to. We don't fast, we don't pray. All we just do is we want to do what we want to do. And this is how we get caught up in so much sin and don't even know it. We follow what other people do and don't even know. We didn't even look the word up. We didn't work to look. Oh, it's okay to flirt. No, it's not. That's evil. It's trifling. It's trifling. It's lustful. You're not supposed to do that. What you think Satan did to Eve? Oh, come on, Eve. It's okay. And her being the emotional type. Women are emotional. That's why that's how I know the Bible is true. Women are emotional. He knew how to smooth talk her. Now that smooth talking spirit went into the man, and now man know how to smooth talk his way to a woman. It's the same way. It's nothing new under the sun. See, the thing is, once you disconnect yourself from the matrix and you're unplugged, then you'll see what's going on in the earth. I had just got some food the other day at this place called Japanese Hibachi Grill, steak and grill place. I was in there waiting for my food. Give you a real quick story here. I was in there getting my food, and I saw this brother. He was waiting for his food, right? But he seen a young lady sitting over there by the bar, and I was just studying this brother's actions. He got his food. He kept looking over there at her. He kept looking at his phone. He had to have some excuse to get over there to her, and he was just walking around like he didn't even know which way he wanted to walk. He kept looking at her and scratching his head, shaking his head. And I'm just over here looking at this brother like, man, you really, your flesh has really got you in shambles, man. You was really zoned in, and she knew it, so she kept flinging her hair. And I'm up here trying. I'm on it, like about 20 feet away, trying not to laugh, which is really not funny, but it was just amazing to see how powerful, the beauty of a woman is. It's nothing to be really played. Let me tell you something, brothers. Women ain't nothing to be played with, Slim. Seriously, they're nothing to be played with. You see that apple I got up on this video, right? Keep on biting at it, man. You're going to be just as poisonous as the first apple that was bitten into. It's death, man. I'm telling you. Get you a wife. If you pray first for a wife. If she's not into the Bible like you, let me tell you, leave her alone. Leave her alone, man. Let me read Revelations chapter 18, verse 14 before I forget. Revelations chapter 18, verse 14. One moment. Okay, here we go. And it says, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all the things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The Most High is about to lay this place desolate. Let me tell you the places. America, which is Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. Great Britain, France, Spain, Europe, basically. These places about to be desolate. These are the places where people have drank in the wrath of her fornication. There's nothing but sin in these places, and the Most High is coming, and and He's going to destroy these places. When it says that His eyes should be like a flame of fire, it's going to be hell broken loose on this earth. So you better get yourself together. Stop lusting. You understand? Live holy 100%. The Most High is coming for a church without spot or wrinkle. Okay? I love you all. This is my life, and I'll be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.